welcome back inside the Blaisdell Arena. There she is right there, the champ. Ilima-Lei MacFarlane is going home with her belt here in front of her hometown crowd of Hawaii. She moves to 9-0, put on an incredible performance tonight. Had this crowd, this sellout crowd, on its feet. They're still here on their feet. All right, I'm joined alongside Chael Sonnen, Josh Thompson. Guys, wow is all I can say. Wow. I mean, you couldn't write the ending any better for what Ilima-Lei MacFarlane was able to do inside that cage just now.
Yeah, that's right, and I think you can back up a little bit. I mean, the walkout, the entrance, this sold-out arena, the buzz of the city we've been in all week, Josh, but truly incredible moment, a lot of pressure. I think she was fibbing through her teeth, and I think she deserves a lot of credit for dealing with the pressure. I thought she stayed very composed, Josh. As you and I watched it, you were saying, Chael, do you think she's having an adrenaline dump? Talking about Ilima-Lei, because she got to some great positions, and she lost them early on. It's a very common thing to have these adrenaline dumps, so the audience understands what you're talking about is a level of excitement of thinking I got him and finding out I don't.
We found out tonight that she has the it factor. Our champion has the it. When the bright lights turn on, man, does she come to fight.
She definitely stepped up. Let's take a look at how it all went down. Guys, take us through it.
So you can see here, in the first round, she was really just sticking and moving. Unlike John McCarthy, I had her win in the first 2 rounds. Now, but she stayed calm and composed. I actually like the fact that she took her time in that first round to not like rush things and let the adrenaline get to her. So in the second round, I was a little more concerned because there was this scramble here that she potentially lost that she ended up losing the position on, like Chael was talking about. But then she did really well at getting back to her basics, keeping her hands tight, snapping the jab, and setting things up. Came out in the third round, got the takedown early, and the rest is history. She made good, slow, methodical transitions in her back take, and she was able to trap the arm. That is one of the #1 key positions that you should be trying to get when you have the back. I was concerned, I told Chael, I never like leaving the back to attack an arm bar.
And Josh, if you watch this finish here, officially that goes down as a tap by submission. That's not what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a tap due to strikes. I thought it was the elbows that just kept coming. Valerie tried to cover, she tried to block. I suppose the only way we'll know the true answer is if Valerie ever revealed it to us. But for me, I thought I was witnessing a strike, a submission, a tap due to strikes.
Well, you know, we talked about how this was a big step up in opponent for Ilima-Lei. We talked to her about that. That was a question that kind of needed to be answered. She said, this is the best girl that I have faced thus far, and I think that question got answered today.
But like I was talking about before, she had questioned herself. You know, she wasn't just that, she was questioning herself whether she deserved to be here. When I was talking with her, she said, I'm not sure if I'm ready for this. I don't know if I'm ready for these bright lights against this opponent on this stage in front of my family in my hometown. Everything added up, and then about 3 weeks before the fight, I texted her back and forth, and she says, I'm ready. There's no doubt about it, I'm ready for this fight. And there was no questions anymore. She said it just like that, and that's when I realized that she was ready for this fight.
I mean, this crowd was electric when she walked out, when she got the win, and then when they announced her, and still, I mean, this crowd is still on its feet. All right, should we send it back down to Big John Morrow, who's got the best seats in the house, guys? How'd it look down there?
Well, Jen, Chael, Josh, John, you and I have been afforded the opportunity to be a part and witness so many incredible moments in this great sport that we love. And to be sitting here cage side tonight and feel the energy and hear the crowd and watch Ilima-Lei MacFarlane do what she did to a great fighter and even better human being in Valerie Letourneau. These are the nights we dream about in this sport, and like everyone is saying, Ilima-Lei MacFarlane is not just a champion, she's a superstar, and she is a face of Bellator MMA.
My God, you look at what she's doing, and you look at her age, but the maturity that she's showing not only in her fighting, but the maturity she's showing outside of it, how she's getting people involved in this sport, how she's bringing her community involved.
She made me wear this shirt tonight.
Well, you know what? That's pretty impressive, but I got to tell you, she is so impressive as the champion. And again, there's just some people that have it. And Ilima-Lei MacFarlane, she has it.
And she stands for so much outside of the cage, like you said, ambassador, so many social issues. Really someone who is destined to do great things inside and outside of the cage. Now, Of course, a lot of other action went down tonight, but boy, what a way to wrap up the night. But Lyoto Machida made his much-anticipated Bellator MMA debut against fellow Brazilian and the former Bellator middleweight champion Rafael Carvalho, and it was a close one.
It was a close one. I'll tell you what, I was very impressed that Lyoto, look, he took that one right hand at the beginning of the fight, and you could see that it broke his nose. And if you've ever had a broken nose, to keep fighting, to not be able to breathe through it, and to do the things that Lyoto did in that fight, and I was very impressed with him. I was also very impressed with Rafael Carvalho. I mean, I thought he went after that fight the right way. He was trying to bully Lyoto, he was trying to muscle him, and he was trying to land heavy strikes. And so if you look at what happened in that fight, I look at both guys. I was impressed by Lyoto, but I was also impressed by Carvalho.
For Machida, this is 40, now riding a 3-fight win streak, and he made the call out, and he talked about it going into this fight. He holds a victory over current middleweight champion Gegard Mousasi back in the UFC days. Mousasi will defend the middleweight title against Rafael Lovato Jr. That's coming up. Let's go inside the numbers for Mousasi's title defense.
Man, I'll tell you what, Gegard Mousasi right now is at the top of his game. This is a guy with so much experience. You're looking at over 50 fights. He is the Bellator middleweight champion. He took that from Carvalho easily. He just dominated. You see what I'm talking about, the position, just TKO by strikes, and he is good everywhere.
And Lovato Jr., despite the lack of experience compared to Mousasi, hey, he's at the top of his game as well.
Well, look at, we just saw Neiman Gracie tonight demonstrate what a superior submission game can do for you. And I'm telling you right now, there is nobody in the MMA world that has a better submission game than Rafael Lovato Jr. He is that good, he is dominant, and if he gets on top of Gegard Mousasi, you're gonna see a new champion.
Mahalo, brother. Great night, thank you very much. Let's go back to Jen Brown, Chael Sonnen, and Josh Thompson. Thanks, guys.
Well, thanks, Maura. Hey, we're joined by someone else. We've got Neiman Gracie tonight picking up the 4th round rear naked choke over Ed Ruth. Congratulations. I got to tell you, when we were up here watching this fight, these guys were just going crazy with what you were doing on the ground. Congrats on that big win tonight.
Thank you so much, guys. It was a really tough fight. Ed is a very tough opponent, and I'm happy I was able to win it.
Neiman, may I have the honor, please, of being the first to say on record, not only are you a winner tonight, not only are you a semifinalist, you are now officially the #1 contender for a world championship. How does that feel?
Feels great, man. It's what I've been working for, and it's going to become a reality. Everyone that keeps doubting me, you better stop doubting me, man.
So you and I were talking before we got on camera here, and I was asking, I said, the one thing I felt that changed the whole dynamic of the fight was the leg kicks. As soon as you came out leg kicking, you were telling me that you had seen in his previous fight that he wasn't checking leg kicks. That also took him out of boxing range. And so when that took him out of boxing range, it made it easier for you to throw the leg kicks, and then he had to rush in to get stuff. Was that kind of the full game plan from the beginning?
Yes, I watched his last fight, and he wasn't checking any kicks. So I started training a lot of leg kicks. And I threw so many leg kicks in my training camp that I couldn't walk well for a couple months. So it paid off, and I'm really happy now.
And I'll tell you, you talk about people doubting you. I don't know if I fall into that category, but I did not know, to Josh's point, that you were that good of a kickboxer. I definitely did not know you had that level of wrestling. You got 2 takedowns. Ed Ruth's never been taken down in his life inside that cage. Took him out twice in one night. I also did not know you had that level of conditioning, which I think is ultimately what won that fight for you. Am I right?
Chael, I train really hard, man. I'm one of the guys that train the most at my gym. And I knew I had the kickboxing level to come here and do it, but I never had the opportunity to do it. And in this fight, I was able to show to everyone. And with the takedowns and everything, man, I train so hard, man. And I'm glad I'm able to show everyone,
So there's a good chance, there's a good chance you're gonna fight, or you are fighting for the title next.
Yes.
There's a good chance you're gonna fight Ray McDonald or John Fitch.
Yes.
Which one would you prefer to fight?
I don't care. Any one of them. It's 2 different styles of fighting. One is more of a grappler, the other one is more of a striker, but I don't care, man. I just want my belt.
What do you see here in the highlights that Rory, that's something you may be able to exploit?
That was a really tough fight, and I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
What about John Fitch?
Tough guy, very tough guy, and I'll be happy to fight him too.
All right, let me ask this in a different way, Josh. If you're not going to tell us who you'd rather fight, at least give us a prediction. Who do you think wins that contest? Fitch versus Rory?
Man, I don't know. It's a tough fight. John Fitch, I think he got better with time, you know. And Rory is a very tough guy too. I don't know who's gonna win, and I want everybody to watch the fight to see who's gonna win, you know.
I know that you said that you've been dreaming about this since you started when you were a boy, but did you think this early on in your career that you would be fighting for the title?
To tell you the truth, I always dream about this. I always work towards this, but I didn't know when was going to come. And I'm just happy that it's here, you know. Like I said before, I work super hard for this. I deprive myself of so many things. Like, it's crazy, you know. My whole life is around this. Sometimes I don't even have friends because all I do is this. People want to go out, people want to go eat. I can't. I got to train tomorrow, and my life is all about this, and it's going to pay off.
Well said. Well, hey, congratulations on the big win tonight. We look forward to seeing you back in the cage. Go celebrate. You're in Hawaii.
Thank
Have some
you.
fun.
I'm going to go surf now.
That's right. There
Gonna
you go.
go surf Pipeline.
Time to
Yes, sir.
celebrate the fact that you're fighting for the title next.
Yeah. I'll be careful.
All right, have fun tonight. All right, well, Neiman Gracie is the next to advance to the semifinals. Now, as we said, he is going to face the winner of Rory McDonald and John Fitch. That fight is yet still to be determined on when they are going to fight, but we do know that January 26th, Paul Daly is going to be fighting MVP to see who advances between them to face Douglas Lima. That is going to be January 26th from the Forum. All right, you knew that we were going to bring her up here. We had to get you up here, Ilima-Lei. Congratulations. I mean, hats off to you. What an incredible night. I mean, you had this place on its feet. What did that moment feel like when he said "and still"? And this place was so loud, I couldn't hear Chael, and we can always hear Chael. What was that moment like?
Don't start to cry right now. I see your lips kind of quivering a little bit.
Ugly crying face. No, I mean, it's honestly, I said on the mic, I told Big John that it was the best moment of my life. It's the best night of my life. It's indescribable. And yeah, you know, just coming out, I couldn't even look in the crowd. That's how intense it was when I was at first walking out. I couldn't look out. I had to get it out of me. And then when I looked up, it was just surreal. It was the best moment of my life.
There were people in the crowd crying. I was looking around. You were emotional, but I looked and saw tears going down the face of other people. What did it mean to be able to deliver that win for them?
I mean, that song, All Hawaii Stands Together, it's a very special song to us Hawaiians, to us Kanaka, the islands, the 808 state. So I know everybody could feel it too, and everybody raised their hands together. We were all singing together. So again, that moment was so powerful, and yeah, everybody was crying. I could feel it.
Ilima-Lei, it looked to me, and I got to give Valerie a lot of credit. The only way we can celebrate your win is to acknowledge what a great opponent you had tonight. It looked to me as though that tap came from the strikes. It looked as though without the elbows, we don't have a tap. Am I right, or am I seeing that wrong?
No, you're right. I mean, I could feel it because she still had her hand in, which was preventing the choke. So she was, even though she was defending the choke, she wasn't able to defend the elbows. So that's when I started throwing the elbows. Then she took her hand out to start blocking it. So I totally could feel her because I didn't think it was locked up tight enough to choke her. So I feel like she did tap from the strike.
And I've only seen those elbows from that position one other time in my life. It was Tony Ferguson. I'm just wondering, did you get that idea from Tony?
No, I mean, that even though he's a 10 Planet homie, that's a 10 Planet brother right there. No, you know, my coaches specifically told me actually to make sure to throw elbows from the triangle position because, you know, my jiu-jitsu style, I just go for the finish, right? I barely throw strikes when I get a submission finish, but they specifically told me if you get in that position, throw those up elbows, it's going to open her up, and they were right.
So when I was texting with you back and forth and we were chatting, you had a lot of things going on, but then you said, like basically we were talking about it all week, you were a different person.
Yep.
What changed from the times that we were texting back and forth to the times now?
I know, because when I was texting you, I was like, I'm kind of freaking out. You know, I don't know if I belong here. I don't know if I'm a legitimate fighter. And you're like, you know, that's normal thoughts and everything, but just being here back home and again, just feeling the energy of not just the people, but the Aina, the land, it was just something different. And finally started feeling comfortable in that cage tonight, where I was like, this is my home, this is where I belong, like, this is the only thing that makes sense right now to me. So I'm finally getting there as a fighter.
Was that your game plan to come out kind of just with the easier pace so there was no adrenaline dump? Because it seemed like, for me, honestly, as a young fighter, I felt like you fought an amazing fight because you came out, some people when they come out, they fight in their hometown, they come out, they go real hard.
Yeah.
And they have that adrenaline dump, and then they end up losing by gassing out or just that whole, this tonight showed how much you have matured as a fighter. You set a slow pace, and then in the beginning, then you slowly ramped it up. Was that how you guys had planned this out?
You know, going in, we didn't really have a game plan. My coaches don't really like to give me a game plan because if something goes different, then, you know, it's like, oh, what now? So we were just like, you know, go do your thing. If you want to keep it standing, keep it standing. But obviously, you know, if you see the takedown, go for it. But the adrenaline dump was specifically, like, my coaches texted me this morning, like, hey, are you up? We need to talk to you. I was like, oh, gosh, what did I do? Did I get in trouble? And they come in, they're like, so, as you know, it's going to be crazy. The crowd's going to be crazy. You're probably going to have an adrenaline dump. So just be prepared for that. I was like, okay, I know. So that's why I did tell myself, don't go out there and get all crazy. You know, you might feel the energy of the crowd, but it's okay. Take your time. You're opening. Your time will come.
Did you answer your own question to yourself that you belong in there now? You are one of the best now.
Yes.
You know, it was like those things you were texting your, I don't know if I belong here. Are those questions answered now?
They are, because Valerie is one of the top fighters in the world, in my opinion. And so this win over her, the next level kind of opponent, this win just solidified me that I am the best in the world. Like, this is my division and nobody's going to take this belt from me.
She's never been submitted.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Never been submitted.
Well, there you go. I belong here. I belong here. I'm the best flyweight in the world, and this is my belt.
Ilima-Lei, will you give me your opinion on one thing? Who is going to be next? Who is the rightful #1 contender in your opinion?
So, you know, obviously last night on the 212 card, there was the Juliana Velasquez versus Alejandra Lara, which was my last opponent. Juliana, I believe, is like 9-0. I think that's her record, and so that's the same as me. We have the same records. But, you know, there's also Vida Ortega, who's on a roll right now. You know, she's been fighting hard and been winning her her last fight. So I actually think maybe a fight between them for the next challenger would make sense.
All right. Well, hey, you did a great job tonight. And I don't know if you know, I know you're having a luau tomorrow.
Yep.
I think Moro invited the entire, not just the
that's
arena,
right.
but everybody at home watching on TV. So you might have a couple of people
Please,
show up tomorrow.
Absolutely, 100%.
I just need to get out of the hotel food. I got to get away from the hotel food.
Hey, you know what? We had a great time here in Hawaii. Thank you for putting on such an incredible performance and showing everybody at home how the true Hawaiians throw down here.
Mahalo nui, mahalo.
All right. Mahalo. All right. Well, hey, if that wasn't an incredible fight, night of fights, we've got some more coming your way in the new year. Take a look.
Bellator kicks off 2019 from the Forum in Inglewood, California with a bang. It's the Heavyweight World Grand Prix Final as Ryan Darth Bader looks to become a two-division champion when he goes toe-to-toe with the GOAT, Fedor Emelianenko, for the coveted heavyweight crown. February is twice as nice as we go back-to-back once again from the Mohegan Sun Arena. On Friday the 15th, it's a heavyweight slugfest as Matt Mitrione squares off with Sergey Karatanov. Then on Saturday the 16th, exclusively on The Zone, the welterweight World Grand Prix rolls on as MVP Michael Venom Page collides with compatriot Paul Semtex Daly in a highly combustible grudge match. Plus, former heavyweight world champion Vitaly Minakov steps into the darkness when he faces Czech Congo in a battle to decide the #1 contender. It's an action-packed start to the new year. For tickets and more information, go to Bellator.com.
All right, 2 incredible nights of fights. It's hard to say that it's ending now. I kind of want to stay. Hawaii's been fantastic to us.
That was tough. And, you know, I got to tell you guys, I know you're friends with Ilima-Lei. That was actually the first time I've ever met her. And to see her so humbled from a point of psychology like that, you know, the spotlight was on her, but the people gave it to her. The people gave up their time. They gave up their money. They came and believed in her. And to see her truly appreciate that, not a gimmick, not an act. I thought you made friends with a very nice person, Josh. I got to tell you.
She's
a
an
lot of
amazing...
your friends are real jerks, so I got to tell you, you got this one
it's
right,
so
huh?
funny you say that because I thought you were my friend.
Well, to my point.
So look, she's an amazing person. She's very humble. What I like about her, she's always continuing to get better. The other thing as well is that she wanted to do it for here. She wanted to do it for everyone here. And I've been here before when BJ Penn fought here. And I gotta tell you, the fans here are absolutely amazing. And I'm so happy the fact that we got to come back here. And we're the biggest promotion to be here in the last decade. And I hope we continue to do this for years to come.
And Jen, may I please just point out one point, which is whenever you ask a champion, who do you think should be next? Who do you want to be next? Josh, you hear this. It's so annoying. They either don't tell you or they call out somebody easy. She offered 2 options. She offered the right 2 options. She's not looking for a night off, and I think she deserves to have that said about her.
I think that Vita and her would be an amazing fight. That fight I would love to see. You know, I saw what I liked out of Juliana Velasquez last night. A very good opponent, but I would like to see her and Vita fight. I think that would be an electric night.
Well, tonight was incredible, and let's not forget last night and all that we did this week, what you got to do, you guys supporting the troops. It was a pretty special time here in Hawaii. So I guess at this point, you know, we're going to take a look back at some of the best scenic shots. You know, I want to come back to Hawaii. I'm going to make my fight for it, you guys. Hey, AJ McKee there, picking up another win, 13-0. Javi Ayala, big, you know, taking out his legend, the guy he looked up to, and Frank Mir. Michael Chandler retaining the lightweight belt, or excuse me, getting the lightweight belt back over Brent Primus. We had an incredible night, you guys. I mean, it doesn't get much better than this.
Absolutely incredible weekend, and when you make that push to come back, Jen, see if you can get a plane ticket and a hotel for Chael and Josh, because we had a great time too, didn't we, Punk?
You'll never hear me complain about coming to Hawaii.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up here for Chael Sonnen and Josh Thompson, Maura Renaro, and Big John McCarthy. I'm Jen Brown. Thanks for watching.